This is exactly what I would tell my 16-year-old self if I was to start back from scratch. Number one is fixing your brain and attention span. Filtering what you put into your brain and what content that you consume is one of the most important things I can emphasize with having good attention span and not being corrupted with all this like weird brain rot, modern day slop and garbage that's on social media. Inputting and watching the right content and listening to the right things and putting the right information into your brain is so important. It will literally shape how you view the world, how you do things, how you improve yourself, all these aspects of your life, the way you eat, the way you train, the discipline you have, the motivation, all of it comes down to what the information you're putting into your brain. It's so important. Like when you watch just non-informational, just garbage like YouTube slop that doesn't actually have any value, it's just for dopamine and attention grabbing, it subconsciously affects your brain to just crave more like of that attention seeking like dopamine and not necessarily actually learning something, right? If you go and binge watch stupid brain rot garbage, or you go and binge watch like people playing video games or talking about random garbage or streamer drama and just drama between other YouTubers and all this like mainstream garbage that it doesn't affect your life. So what's the reason in paying attention to it? There's no reason. It just is useless information that you're taking into your brain, and you're taking space in your brain when you could be putting something in informational, like even just watching a podcast, like a long form podcast. Could be anyone, could be like business related, Alex Hormozi, or health related, or nutrition related, food related, fitness related, anything like that will have insanely amounts of beneficial ROI to your brain, and you're subconsciously learning things that are actually beneficial to you and can actually shape your mind in a way where you'll start thinking about different things. You'll start thinking about business or whatever you start putting into your brain, like whatever you start watching, whatever you start consuming, you will start thinking about that more, right? And so putting just useless YouTube content, useless social media garbage that's all just like meant to be trying to get the most amount of views possible, little value, just trying to like optimize their like hooks and optimize this part of the video and editing in this way to keep the viewers' attention so they get more views, more attention, more this and that, but it's not actually like beneficial to watch at all. And it's just it's not good. It's not good. So that would be my first piece of advice I would give my younger self is get off YouTube as early as possible, or at least get off watching just random dopamine content. If you're going to go on YouTube, watch some educational things, watch some podcasts, watch some Diary of a CEO or Alex Hormozi, or anything that's actually beneficial to you that can benefit your education or your self-discipline, or whatever it is that you want to benefit. Because I can attribute a lot of my knowledge and a lot of my growth and all that side of things from YouTube, from consuming beneficial and like podcasts and educational things. It can without a doubt help you. But when you just start watching all this like this unemployment, like this guy has got an issue with this guy, or there's a guy hating on this guy, and there's some like beef here and there, or this phase dude accidentally did something crazy, and it's like it just doesn't matter. You're just wasting time watching that garbage. And I mean, that's a whole nother topic. Phase, what even is phase nowadays? Like I thought it was like Call of Duty trick shotting and stuff like that. Now it's just like brainless, like stupid streamer content. So it's, fix your brain and your attention by selectively consuming beneficial and informational videos and podcasts and stuff from YouTube, not all the garbage. All right. Number 2, something I wish I knew the importance of back when I was 16 is the importance of testosterone. And this concept I didn't really know when I was younger. When I was 16, it wasn't really like a thing I knew about. Like testosterone, I'd maybe hear it more once or twice here and there, but it wasn't a concept that I really understood or really knew about up until, you know, when I was like probably 18. And it's actually extremely important, especially when you're young. You need to be optimizing and have a great importance on having and optimizing your testosterone levels, especially like when you're young and you're still like growing and stuff like that. Having an importance on this is extremely important because it affects your growth essentially. And I didn't realize, like, it's crazy because this is just like normalized in high school and like where I grew up. I don't know, like I can't speak for other parts of the world, but like high school and what you would eat in high school and outside of high school, all that stuff, it was normalized to just have like these packets of chips that were just like processed seed oil, flakes of potato, chip garbage, and like these bars, muesli bars, all this garbage for you, and you know, chocolate bars and all this terrible stuff. And you'd then for lunch you'd have like a Vegemite and butter and Vegemite sandwich that has like no beneficial sustenance in it. Like it's got nothing. It's got bread and like Vegemite and butter, which is like, bro, what are you even getting out of that nutrition wise? Nothing. If I knew, like, I wish when I was in high school that I actually started eating properly when I was 16, like at like recess or lunch, eating like proper like meal prep foods, like beef and rice and steaks and actually healthy foods, like having more eggs and getting, you know, some good greens, sweet potatoes and more carbs and stuff like that, because that would have made me grow up better. Like, and obviously like it is what it is now, but yeah, I just wish that I knew the importance of things like testosterone, because yeah, the diet especially is of massive importance. Like diet, I'd say, is one of the most important things, as well as understanding plastics and all the environmental toxins towards your testosterone and tap water and all this stuff about testosterone optimization. I wish I knew this at a younger age. And yes, so if you're 16, I need you to understand that optimizing your testosterone is really important. So go do some research. Avoid things like plastic containers and plastic water bottles that can leach like microplastics and plastic chemicals like BPA and whatnot into your water. And don't have cups of coffee out of those like paper with the plastic lining on the inside, like the paper cups. They're paper cups when they're actually majority of it's plastic like coating on the inside, and that releases tons of microplastics. Like, it's ridiculous. And things like getting filtered water, like a reverse osmosis for the tap water that stops like birth control hormones getting in your system and stuff like that, which is like crazy. Imagine being 16, going through puberty and like ingesting like plastics and like all this like endocrine disrupting stuff that will annihilate your testosterone. Like, and pair that with like things like seed oils and terrible like processed foods. It's it's a recipe for disaster, if anything. So I'm lucky that I got knowledge about this when I was 18. So I kind of started fixing it for myself, started eating better foods, more healthy, like, you know, whole foods, less processed garbage. And yes, and polyester clothing as well. Avoid that at all costs. Things like gym shirts, like the stretchy ones, avoid that. Third thing, which I kind of just covered just then, is diet and the fundamentals. As I said, diet was something I wish I really had knowledge about when I was 16. Like, I didn't really like the concept of dieting and like protein wasn't really like a thing in my mind. Like I didn't really know about, oh, you have to have like a certain amount of protein to be able to build good muscle, and you have to have enough carbs in order to restore like glycogen and energy in your muscles so you can perform better in the gym, and having fat for your hormones, for testosterone production and whatever else. That it wasn't really something I knew about, and it wasn't something that I knew at the time. Like it was one of those things where you don't know until you know. It's kind of one of those things, and I just thought, oh, as long as I eat food, I'll be fine, which is the case. Like as long as you eat food, you'll be fine, but you won't be great. Like you will hugely determine the way you look and the way your body feels and the way your face looks, like the chubbiness and the bloating, the inflammation, all this sort of stuff, and the quality of life all comes down to like your diet and the fundamentals. So eating a clean whole food diet, focusing on like having lean meats and having enough fats and carbs, having like 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram, or I think it's 0.8 gram per pound of body weight if you go by pounds of protein, and carbs, it just fills in the rest. Like fats, it is usually half of what your protein is. That's how much grams of fat you have, and then carbs, you just fill in the rest, and the carbs can really determine whether you'll be in a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. So, but keeping the protein and the fats is always important, because obviously fats for your hormone balance. Because obviously, if you're not on roids or you're supplementing or taking testosterone, you need some way of your body being able to create it efficiently at a natural rate. Because obviously, you see all the bodybuilders and stuff, they take testosterone, steroids, all this stuff, and all they eat is chicken and rice, and that's because they don't need all the like dense nutrients in order to keep their hormonal balance at a good state. So because they just artificially put it in their body, that's how it works. Very, very simply. And I feel like I could have grown up. I could have probably been a bit taller. I could have filled out a bit more earlier, and I could have probably built a bit more muscle if I sort of knew the fundamentals of dieting and testosterone and all that sort of concept earlier. And yes, so definitely focus on your diet, and you'll get a long way with your body in general if that's your goal. Number 4, supplements that you actually need. I wish as well that I started taking supplements when I was younger, because again, it was a concept that I didn't really know about, because it kind of falls into the diet, right? And not knowing what really about the fundamentals of dieting and stuff, I didn't really understand supplements either. Like I'd seen people taking all these like multivitamins and a bunch of like random supplements and vitamins, and I'm like, oh, I'm not bothered. I didn't really think it had that much of an effect. But honestly, like the crucial ones is honestly, it's very simple to take. Vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, fish oil, and that's honestly like the main ones. Like those are the crucial ones. Magnesium for your sleep, zinc for testosterone production, vitamin D for testosterone support, fish oil for brain health, and you can also add in creatine. Like if you're consistently working out, creatine's great, and it can also, if you have it in larger amounts, it can actually benefit your brain health. So that's an added bonus. Another thing I wish I knew was how to actually grow muscle in the gym. I used to just go in the gym and just randomly hop on machines and just do a couple reps, because I didn't really know what I was doing at that point. I should have got I had a complimentary personal trainer I could have gotten for like one session when I first signed up to the gym. I didn't get it because I thought that I knew what to do and that I would be fine. I didn't, and having that personal training session would have been quite beneficial in my development and journey in the gym. And just understanding the core concepts of like progressive overload, like being consistent, sleep, and how your testosterone affects it. It's these concepts. If I knew them when I was younger, I would have built more muscle by now, and I would have made more progress. But it's fine. Like, I don't regret anything. It's the way you learn, right? You go in kind of blind, and you eventually, after a while, you learn how everything works. And the main concepts that I wish I knew was progressive overload. So each week you come in, you increase the weight or you increase the reps until you get to a certain rep range, like 12 or above that, and then you increase the weight. Consistency. So you can't just like go in once a week or once every 2 weeks and do a full body workout and expect to like grow much muscle. Maybe in like the beginner phase you can build some muscle, but actually being consistent, going like at least 3 times a week, that's like the minimum amount, right? And pairing that with progressive overloading, so each week coming in and increasing the weight or getting stronger each session, is extremely important for actually making progress. I just didn't really make much progress for like a long time. From 16 I worked out, I barely was consistent, and I would work out, you know, every like week or 2 weeks, and it was terrible. And I thought, I'm not making much muscle, so what's even the point? And it was just one of those things where I just didn't really know what I was doing. So I came back to it after 2 years. I kind of stopped going for a year. After when I turned 17, I kind of stopped. Took a year, and then I was like, no, I got to get back into it. Turned 18 and really like put my head down and focused on learning and gaining the knowledge I need to know in order to, you know, optimize my workouts and actually build decent muscle. So progressive overload and being consistent, as well as sleep. Sleep is one of the most important things. I wish I would have started sleeping more earlier, and it as well would have been beneficial for myself and my brain health and my education even. So getting 10 hours, being 10 hours in bed to get at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Now, a lot of people might think this is, you know, heaps, but if you actually think about it, like if you go to bed, if you're in bed for 8 hours, you actually really only get usually like around 6 hours, maybe 7 hours of sleep. So in order to get that recommended amount of like 8 hours that you say, and even if you're younger, like when you're a teenager, it's even more. It's like 9 hours, 10 hours of sleep. So to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep, you need to be in bed for 10 hours. So that's a good tip is be in bed and be trying to sleep for 10 hours, and you'll usually be within the actual like sleep range of 8 to 9 hours. Like you'll usually get that, and that's like the most sleep you'll ever need. And usually a lot of people undersleep. Like people go, oh no, I got like 9 hours, 8 hours of sleep, and in realism they actually don't. They get 6 to 7, which for younger adults and teenagers, it's not enough. It just isn't enough. And staying up late and playing video games till 11, 12 at night is a big mistake. I wish I traded that time for actually quality sleep, which would have helped me be better and build more muscle, because obviously sleep comes down to everything. Sleep is one of the most important things to optimize. It can make the difference between having a good day and a bad day. As they say, like, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and all that sort of stuff. It just, sleep depends really on everything. Like, you could have an amazing day because you had good sleep. The next day you get bad sleep, or you don't get enough sleep, and you have a horrible day. You feel low energy, you feel horrible, you don't get anything done. Sleep is extremely important, and for testosterone levels as well, very, very important. And obviously, that's why I was talking about the importance of testosterone. It makes a difference in the gym. Like your performance, your energy, the amount of muscle you can make, having high testosterone will affect that and make it easier to put on more muscle. And that's just how it is. That's just factual. So yeah, optimizing the testosterone for growing more muscle in the gym is extremely important. Number 5, routine and consistency. So not just having consistency in the gym, but having consistency in your life outside of the gym, just in general. So having a set routine and consistency throughout your day can really help, especially with your sleep. So that's a big thing, like consistently going to bed and waking up at the very similar time frame. So like within an 8 or 5 to 10 minute window, going to bed at the same, time and waking up at the same time is one of the best markers for sleep, for getting good sleep. And being consistent with your daily routine, like waking up and doing the exact same things every day and structuring your day to like be productive is really important. Because if you wake up without a routine or a structure, you sort of just go through the day doing like kind of what you feel like, and usually what you feel like isn't what you need to be doing, and it's not really productive, because obviously you have to fight against your own brain, because your brain wants to go and scroll on garbage and get dopamine and do all these, like, eat the bad foods, and just doesn't want to do anything hard. So structuring into a routine to make sure you're doing it every single day, and you have no blocks in your day where you're unsure of what to do, or where you're bored, or where you're confused, is honestly a really good tip that I wish I knew when I was 16. And just setting it up it's quite easy. All you need to do is just write it down on a piece of paper and just write down like the time. It could be like 6 a.m. dash wake up, 6:15 have a shower, or you just set it up, right? And you can also write down the things you need to do the night before, for the day ahead. That'll also help you sort of structure your day and direct your day tomorrow. And that'll help you be a lot more consistent and get the things done that you need to get done, essentially. So number 6, water break, my bad. So number 6, your social circle and friends. You know the saying, the people you surround yourself with, you'll be the sum of those people, or you'll be the sum of the people you surround yourself with the most. And it's true without a doubt. Like, not even a single doubt in my mind. It is so true that having to curate your friends and like choose specifically who you want to be friends with in accordance to what you want to be achieving, what you want to be doing, and how you want to be in your life is like extremely important. If you have a friend group of gamers, you're going to be a gamer. You're going to be playing games. That's just how it works. If you are friends in a social circle where they all like go out and do fun things, they go on like bike rides, or they go out and, actually go on adventure, then what are you going to do? You're not going to just sit home while all your friends and your friend group are out going and doing things. You're not going to be sitting there playing video games by yourself. You'll only be sitting there by yourself playing video games when you have friends with you playing video games at the same time. And you'll be going out with that other friend group, right? And I've seen it in myself. So I don't know if it could be different for other people, but this is just me specifically. When I hang around people and my friends that play video games, I play video games. It's that simple. When I hang around my friends that go out and ride motorbikes on the weekend, I go out and ride motorbikes on the weekend and don't play video games. It's that simple. And when I go out to dinner, or I go out and do other fun activities with other friends, what am I doing? I'm going out with them doing fun activities, not playing video games or doing anything, silly. Oh, damn, sorry, my nose was itchy. Same can be said for friends as well that want to be, improving their life, and they're ambitious and striving towards goals and increasing their life value and their money and their skills, and they're doing things that are actually beneficial for their life, and they're growing themselves and working on themselves. If you surround yourself with people like that, you'll naturally follow the same path. You'll naturally start trying to improve your life. You'll naturally start trying to do all the things they're doing, like going to the gym and working on themselves and being disciplined, starting like, an online business or whatever it might be. When you've got friends that are doing that around you, you're going to naturally do that as well. When you have friends telling you, oh no, don't do this, you have to be, doing this with me, it's extremely important, like gotta go to the gym, it's really healthy to do so, then you'll naturally do that. Because if you have friends that bully you for doing, bad things, like things that waste time, like playing video games and eating junk food and all that sort of stuff, if they start bullying you about it, then you're gonna stop doing it. And if they're the ones that are like saying to go, hit the gym and start eating well, and they're training and doing all these things, then you're gonna follow. You're gonna do the same thing. So making sure that you're surrounding yourself with those people that actually are ambitious and want to improve their lives is important, very important. And the last point I want to make is to start earlier. Start everything earlier. I wish when I was younger that I had someone that could just tell me to start earlier. Start YouTube earlier. Start, driving cars earlier. Start like going to the gym earlier, more consistent. Start doing everything earlier. Get into the diet earlier. Get into outside education earlier. Start, do the boxing training or sign up to whatever other class. Just do everything earlier, because the earlier you do it, the more time you take up in your day, which will stop you from, being lazy and doing other things that don't matter. But it'll also give you more experience and more success earlier in your life. And yeah, if I started going to boxing classes, if I started going to the gym earlier, if I started doing YouTube earlier, if I started, driving and getting my license earlier, there's only benefits to doing everything earlier. It just is difficult and can take time and effort. And learning to, deal with the effort and be disciplined at doing all these things earlier is only going to be more beneficial to set your life up earlier and be successful earlier. That's quite literally just how it works. So yeah, I wish I could just say, start YouTube earlier. I wish I started YouTube at 16 and was consistent, fixing my brain and curating the content I put into my brain to only be educational, optimizing my testosterone if I could do all of these things at 16, understanding my diet and fundamentals, taking the right supplements, understanding how to maximize muscle growth in the gym, how to set up a routine and be consistent, how to curate your social circle and your friends that are around you in order to benefit your life and make you a better person, and to start earlier. If I did all these things earlier and understood all these concepts, I would have been so much further ahead. So if you're 16 right now, just understand what I'm talking about here and really, trust me, take these things into consideration, because they will improve your life. And if you don't, then you might come back to it and you might realize the exact same thing I've realized and be like, damn, I wish I did that earlier. And I wish I did that, and I wish I learned that. So I hope you found this video informational and helpful. Just some little guidance to what I wish I had gotten when I was 16. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe, like the video, share it if you want, drop a comment, do whatever. And thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.